Yeah, it's certainly been something interesting all along is working with the fighters. I can think of one specific example. We had Jason Mayhem Miller in, and we were showing him off an earlier version of the game, and he noticed, you could catch a kick and only take down from it. And he says, well, what if I'm a stand-up guy? If I catch a kick, I want to stay standing. I don't want to have to take him down and then be in his realm if he's a good ground guy. So we're like, oh, you got a good point. So now you can catch a kick, take a guy down, catch a kick, or punch. Mm-hmm. So you can play into your styles. There's really no move in the game that kind of closes you into something you don't want to do. We can stay with Japanese rules or change it up if you'd like.
What was the other one that you enjoyed?
Oh, Vale Tudo. Now this gets brutal. This is a throwback to old school MMA. This is something that's so awesome about our game is that we have the global reach, right? Vale Tudo is all about really as close to no holds barred as you can possibly get. One round, 20 minutes, and if you're not bloodied up by the end of that thing, I'd be shocked. We did a cage before. Let's check out the boxing ring. That's also something that we can only do in our game.
So out of all, like you say, Mayhem Miller came in and looked at the game. Out of all the fighters, who do you think is, or was one of the most, came in here, gave you guys the most feedback? Worked with you guys the most, maybe? By
virtue of coming in so often, Frank Shamrock, because he provides color commentary in the game, he was coming in for multiple sessions, and while he was here, it wasn't like we kept him locked up in the, I wanted to keep him locked up in the booth for as long as possible just because I do speech design, but he, of course, would get time with the game every time he came to visit, so with each time, he's kind of throwing in a little input, oh, I just noticed that, that's cool, or maybe, are you sure you guys want to do that? So Frank Shamrock was certainly a guy by virtue of how many times he came to the studio, had a lot of insight into the game. So you'll notice because I set myself, or you are the blue corner fighter as the champion, he calls you out as the champion. So even the presentation as you go into the fight will contour itself to the parameters that you set up for the matchup. Mm-hmm. If we had said both of us are the belt holders, he would call out each of us as the champion. Then by virtue of that, Morrow and Frank would recognize it as a title unification fight, which in MMA is some of the biggest fights you can possibly have when you've got two title holders going at it to only emerge with one belt. You'll notice the ref speaks in the language native to the rule set. Because this is a Vale Tudo rule set, he's speaking in Portuguese. Now, if this were taking place in Japan, you'd hear Japanese. So that's really what we're doing to emphasize the global nature of the game, the fact that you will hear those native languages coming out of people like the referees. Now, what I wanted to show you that is so cool, probably my favorite, actually not even probably, my favorite submission in the game. Go ahead and clinch up with me, that Y button. Now, you know how to submit. You'll press that X button and watch what Shinya Aoki does when he goes for this. Whoop! The climbing armbar. Now that is something fancy. Now, because we're interested in making this specific to the fighters, not everybody has a climbing armbar in their repertoire. It's someone like Shinya Aoki who can actually pull off a move like that. So in the game, he can do it. Gilbert Melendez, he's more of a wrestler who's improved his striking recently, so he's not going to be able to do a climbing armbar like that one right there. Mm-hmm. Now think about how that plays out in a fight. I know when you clinch up with me, if you're using Shinya, ooh, he knows how to climbing armbar. I have to not only watch out for that submission, but watch out for the fact that he could be laying strikes on me. Where if, I clinch up and I'm Gilbert Melendez, you're like, well, I know he's not going to go for the climbing armbar. He's just going to try to strike, and not only that, I'm Shinya Aoki. I'm going to trip him, put him on the ground, go for the submission. So it's all about styles make fights, So here I'll go ahead and escape. And now we are going to go ahead, take the training wheels off. Now it's time to fight. So Y is going to be your get up button. Y will always clinch you, and Y will always get you up to your feet. Ooh. Yeah, I can't take too many head kicks. That's definitely going to leave some punishment. So here we'll actually pull back a moment just to kind of show a little bit more control here. So I'm going to go for a takedown again, but this time, if you could press Y for me, as I'm going in for the takedown, press B. Remember, B is always deny when you're on the ground when someone's trying to pass. B is also how you deny a takedown. So I'm going to go for the takedown right here, and if you were to go for that B button, boom, you sprawl. Now it's based on the timing of that B button. Don't get crazy. It's not because, oh, you press the B button and you only get one animation every time. That is so not the case. It's all about that window. You press that B button really early, you might counter with a knee to the guy's face. You counter about halfway through, you'll get that stand-up sprawl like you have there. Counter all the way at the end, boom, you end up on the ground. You can go for the head and arm choke from there, the Darce choke. So it all depends on your timing window. It's not that you press one button, get one animation. It depends on your timing. Now the body modifier, if you're wanting to throw strikes, RB. So you'll notice when I'm going to kick, I'll be delivering at the body there. That's also something you'll notice too, is that you deliver a lot of damage to, say, my lead leg with kicks. I'll start to hobble a bit, and my animations will react a little longer, giving you more opportunities to come in with more strikes because I have that exaggerated pain animation with extreme kicks to the leg over time. See, now there you'll notice you stayed in half guard even though you tried to pass. That's because I was able to press B in time. I knew to press B because I saw the animation and I felt the rumble, that feel the fight mechanic that we have. Oh, got the mount again. Great position from there. Now here, I'm going to try to escape. Oh, it looks like you're going for the submission, bud. Oh, okay, I see how you think. I see how you think. All right, I can respect that. Oh, you'll notice how you strain your stamina, though. The moment you drain your stamina, boom, that's my free pass to get away, and I'm thinking, sweet. So you can see the commentators recognize that. It's dangerous for me to go to my back because this is what can happen. I could be fighting off yet another submission. Now you'll notice that, as that elusive sweet spot is going around, when you're locking it up tighter than I am, you'll notice it's blue. Right. If I'm doing better with it, it's red. If it's kind of in between, we're both kind of on it, you'll notice it's purple. Ooh, game over. I had to tap out. Nice submission. And that's what Aoki's all about. He's a jiu-jitsu guy who can take care of business, blood on the arm. You cut up my, yeah, that's that blood transfer. I'm telling you, the engineer did such an amazing job with that. Even after multiple fights, I was still seeing blood kind of show up and streaked in ways I hadn't seen before. And I'm asking him about it. He's like, you haven't even seen the half of it. And I'm just like, yes.
That's crazy.
Looks pretty rad, right?
I don't think I've ever seen blood transfer.
That's amazing.
Like that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's truly amazing.
It's something that we definitely emphasized early on. Because, I mean, MMA is a combat sport, right? We knew there was going to be swelling, bruising, cuts, and bleeding. Well, if we know that's in there, and if it's in the game, it's in the game, then you got to do it like, oh, look at that. That's freaking awesome. I mean, he did such a great job with it. I almost feel like bringing him in here now, if he wasn't on vacation, and deservedly so, too. He was really busting his ass. But
so how, like, what degree? Is it full body, can be bruised up?
You can, if you're mashing me, if you mash, say we're doing the Vale Tudo fight like a 1 round 20 minutes, and you're just working on my body, you're going to see bruising start showing up here. And I'm going to react even more dramatically as you continue to do it. And that opens up more opportunities for you. That animation window, like I was talking about earlier, you keep working my leg, it's going to bruise. And now I'm getting all stained up and crazy about it. But just to illustrate the point, first kick, okay, I kind of react that. Okay, it hurt. That was a kick.
Right.
But if you continue working that lead leg, it's going to get to the point where I'm really reacting like, oh my God, that hurt so bad. And that extra time that I'm doing this is you coming in there and going, oh, clapping me on the face. He's like, oh, you like how I kicked your leg? It opens up your head. Now, how's that feel? That's about how the game works. It's all about, the styles make fights, how you take advantage of that style, and then just punish your opponent with it. You know I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, but I'm still going to submit you like you just did to me.
Right.
That's the magic of the game, How do those styles make fights? How you take advantage or minimize his, That's what's that's what makes an MMA fight interesting to me, So many different ways that it can finish.
That's just amazing.
I'm glad you like it.
E3 and it still looks like you've improved it.
Oh.
Since then, actually.
It's the funny thing, I'm glad you mentioned E3 because we've all felt very, very positively about how we showed at E3. We were winning awards, and so we have, the team back here receiving emails from the guys, on the front lines, and you can just feel the buzz, right? And then you also have the people that are like really perfectionists and are like, oh man, we've already fixed that since then. Oh God, we've already got that better since the E3 build. Oh man, this is so much better now. Oh God, I can't wait till they see the new way we did leg kicks now, It's so funny. So even from the E3 build, which thanks for the compliment, since then, let me tell you, man, we can, when you got ninjas like we do on this team, you can get a lot done in a day. You can get a lot done in a day.